Hi, and welcome to Techstars Healthcare's Spring 2023 Demo Day, airing on Stonks. I'm Matt Kozlov, Managing Director of the program, and on behalf of Techstars and the 12 amazing companies presenting today, thank you for joining us. For those of you new to Techstars, we're the global network that helps entrepreneurs succeed. To date, we've invested in over 3,700 companies, and our portfolio's combined market cap is over $99.9 billion. Techstars is deeply committed to investing in and supporting the LA and healthcare ecosystems. To date, over 250 companies have graduated from our LA-based programs, and over 135 alumni from other Techstars programs have decided to build their companies here. Collectively, they've raised over $1 billion. And our healthcare portfolio is similarly strong, with over 700 companies who have raised over $1.9 billion. This spring, we actually did something in Los Angeles that we've never done before. We ran 2 Techstars programs at the same time. Today, you'll hear from the companies graduating from our Techstars Healthcare program, which we ran in partnership with Cedars-Sinai, Point32 Health, UC Irvine Health, and United Healthcare. Tomorrow, we'll be airing our demo day on Stonks for Techstars LA, powered by JP Morgan. We encourage you to join us for those pitches as well. Looking forward to this fall, in September, we will be running a second Techstars LA program, powered by JP Morgan, as well as our Techstars Space program, with support from our partners at NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab and the United States Space Force. And next spring, we will once again run Techstars LA and Techstars Healthcare. You're about to hear 12 awesome pitches from 12 amazing founders. Thanks to Stonks, this is an interactive event. You'll see live chat to the side, and below you'll find overviews on every company and one-click buttons to get in touch. Please reach out to them right here on the Stonks platform if you'd like to learn more, but also reach out to them if you think you can be helpful. Our ask of you is that you try to find at least one company that you can be helpful to. Maybe it's an introduction to a customer, a potential hire, an investor. If all of you watching today just do one thing, imagine what these teams might accomplish today alone. And now, please meet the 2023 spring class of Techstars Healthcare.
Seven years ago, my cousin suffered an accident that left him paralyzed from the waist down. 3 years into that transition, and he had developed 3 recurrent pressure ulcers, each of which was associated with a gruesome wound flap surgery, 6 months of physical therapy, and recurrent wound cleanings. In that third incident, my family and I began asking ourselves, what were we missing? And the answer was nothing. We were told by his medical team that this was just a way of life for wheelchair-bound patients. Now, pressure ulcers range from a stage 1 to a stage 4. Stage 1 is like a blister. It doesn't penetrate the skin. Stage 2 is an open wound. Stage 3, the ulcer deepens and tears through the muscle and fat. Stage 4, and you've reached and exposed the bone, at which point individuals develop systemic symptoms. And this is what my cousin and so many others like him deal with because of their compromised sensory function from the waist down. This means they don't feel the pain associated with a pressure ulcer. Rather, they notice the systemic symptoms from an ulcer and know something's wrong. At this point, surgical intervention is required, and the total cost to treat is $150,000. And out of the 130 million wheelchair users worldwide, 86 million people will develop an ulcer. And if we let these 86 million progress to a stage 4, that will lead to $26.8 billion in healthcare costs to treat. This is why Hyper was formed. My name is Christian Sachdev, co-founder and CEO of Hyper and a current medical student. And at Hyper, our solution to this problem is the Feather, the first smart dynamic wheelchair cushion system designed to prevent pressure ulcers in wheelchair users. Once the user sits down on the Feather, the sensors gather pressure levels from across the surface of the cushion. These values are then sent into the mobile application, which provides and assists the cushion in inflating and deflating in a smart, targeted manner to lower pressure levels. The mobile application also provides users with second-by-second pressure visualization. The Feather has been awarded 2 USPTO utility patents and has 2 more in the process. The Feather by Hyper is a Class 1 medical device exempt from pre-market notification, and because of this, we predict entering the market in 12 to 16 months. Since arriving at Techstars, we have worked in collaboration with our mentors and our partners to develop a business model that will lead us to $1,500 in revenue per user and a total of $7.8 million in revenue by the end of year 1. We've also worked to continue our academic collaborations with Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center and the University of Texas at Austin to solidify and expand these partnerships. We aim to have both of these studies completed by the second quarter of 2024. And we've received a letter of support from Point32 Health and are working collaboratively to assess the ROI and the total cost of care benefits of the feather. The team at Hyper is composed of 4 individuals. As mentioned, my name is Christian Sachdev, co-founder and CEO of Hyper and a current medical student at Texas Tech. Kaushaliya Sachdev is our co-founder and COO with a background in supply chain management, and Samuel Zhang and David Chun, with backgrounds in electrical and computer engineering, are the heads of software and hardware. There is, however, one commonality that brings us all together, and that's a family history of pressure ulcers. And our passion for this issue has and will continue to fuel Hyper forward. Thank you so much for your time.
In October of 2020, my 6-year-old son told me he wanted to kill himself. My heart broke. I didn't see this coming, and I had no idea what to do. At this time, I was an executive at a Series A mental health company, and my son was covered by Medicaid. I spent over a year trying to find help for him, but I couldn't find anyone that would take his insurance. Only 14% of therapists accept Medicaid, and the average wait list is over 6 months. There are 41 million children in the United States, like my son, who are covered by Medicaid and in dire need of a therapist who will take their insurance. Our kids are struggling. This is why I started Yumi Healthcare, and we are solving this $23 billion pediatric mental health crisis in our country. We developed the first AI-based digital therapeutic for children that allows children to receive therapy anytime, anywhere, and with the access of live therapists as needed. We use common gamification techniques to make kids' experiences fun, delightful, and clinical, more like playing their favorite video game than seeing a doctor. Here's how it works. After a parent signs up on our app or website, the child creates a personal avatar. We then ask the child some questions to help us gather baseline data on how they are feeling. We then use the child's avatar to make them the starring character in their own story using clinically developed and written interactive stories called bibliotherapy designed to help children process their feelings as if they were with a therapist. Every day, our AI-driven software collects data about the child's mood, sleep patterns, severity of symptoms, which helps us customize their sessions over time. If a child needs more personalized or urgent treatment, Yumi will notify the parent and help schedule a live virtual therapist within 4 days. Our therapists have all received world-class training, and they accept every insurance. Unlike any other mental health solutions in the market, Yumi is the only company that focuses on the Medicaid youth population. To date, we've helped over 500 families across 8,000 sessions just with a limited release in the Mid-Atlantic region. Today, we generate $90 per session with a 45% margin. Over the last 4 months alone, we have grown our monthly revenue from $25,000 in January to over $120,000 in April. We're happy to announce today that we've begun selling enterprise-level access to Yumi and already have 3 million contracts in pipeline. By the end of the year, we project $4 million of annual revenue. None of this will be possible without my amazing team of 39 full-time teammates whose experience span clinical, compliance, AI, and gamification. Prior to founding Yumi, I was the head of sales at ThriveWorks. It's now a Series C company. Yumi is fighting to make sure no parent ever have to go through the heartache and pain of seeing their child suffer, no matter what kind of insurance they happen to have. If you want to help us, please get in touch. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Rohit Nayak, co-founder and CEO of Band Connect. According to APTA, over 33 million people receive physical therapy services each year. More than 65% of us are non-compliant with our exercise therapy. As a result, Healthcare costs for diabetes, cardiac care, and cancer have now been eclipsed by the $380 billion spend on musculoskeletal conditions. The fact that patients still receive sheets of paper with stick figure drawings doesn't help. Physical therapists start with the assumptions that we don't do our exercises at home. This has forced them to maximize the number of in-clinic visits up to 3 times per week. This frequency is unrealistic, contributing to no-show rates of 15% or higher. In fact, 70% dropout after 3 weeks or less. This lose-lose situation leads to unhappy and unhealed patients, direct revenue loss for clinics, and a greater healthcare spend for all. Band Connect is a connected health platform gamifying the in-clinic experience for patients at home, helping them do their exercises correctly with actionable feedback for both the patient and physical therapist. Here's an example. During the first session, the PT examines the patient just as they do today. Based on their examination, they create a treatment plan in our app. The PT then runs through the prescribed exercises with the patient, establishing the current form and baseline for each. While using our equipment at home, the app instructs the patient on the exercises they should be performing and provides feedback to correct form when necessary, as personalized by their physical therapist. Back at the clinic, the PT reviews the patient's progress and modifies the treatment as needed. This enables clinics to increase patient touchpoints, enhancing the experience with real-time personalized feedback. The resulting increased patient compliance allows PTs to reduce the frequency of in-clinic visits, no-shows, and dropouts. Sure, there's a lot of complexity in our patent-pending technology doing what we do with cameras or on-body sensors. Our secret sauce lies in building upon the human interaction, empowering PTs to rise to their trained potential. We're retaining the clinic touchpoints where it matters and letting technology do the rest. And it's working. Early data shows 230% increased compliance compared to national benchmarks. We're starting by launching as a B2B service for outpatient PT clinics as a revenue-enhancing solution. This has been catalyzed by the new RTM reimbursement codes. Next, we're expanding our target market to include large orthopedic groups supporting their value-based arrangements, followed by the growing home care segment. My co-founder, Abby, is the inspiration behind this company with her early work addressing concussion prevention in women's soccer athletes. I bring my healthcare innovation expertise both as a Fortune 500 P&L leader and a startup founder with successful exits. Dr. Hassan is a nationally recognized shoulder surgeon and a thought leader. We built a strong foundation by de-risking many of the components typically associated with health tech startups. To date, we've raised $1.1 million. With our IP protection well underway and our Class 2 510(k) exempt designation, we are currently executing on 2 IRB-approved clinical trials with Bon Secours Mercy Health and UC Health. More recently, we've kicked off a paid pilot with the U.S. Army. We are fortunate that Band Connect is a dual-use technology, supporting both commercial and DoD markets. Today, we're excited to announce that we have secured a pilot with Cedars-Sinai Physical Medicine and Rehab. We're also happy to announce our partnership with Point32 Health to assess Band Connect's total cost of care benefits. We are the clinical infrastructure for next-gen PT. Join us.
Healthy cartilage is very quiet, but this is the sound of damaged kidney cartilage. Cartilage is one of the most important parts of our body, yet it is mostly overlooked. It acts like a shock absorber to prevent painful bone-on-bone friction in the joints. Without proper diagnosis, today more than 75 million Americans suffer from excruciating pain, experience reduced mobility, or need surgeries. I am Gustavo de Grave, CEO and co-founder of Kneevoice. We have developed a novel solution for cartilage damage diagnosis. Let me show you how it works. We have made it very easy to use by placing our audio sensor on the kneecap and the position sensor on the leg, the patient will do 8 flexions and extensions. Our device will analyze the sounds, vibrations, and position using AI and machine learning to generate in less than 5 minutes a precise diagnosis of cartilage damage. With this technology, early diagnosis and prevention is made possible, delivering benefits to all stakeholders. Patients will have a painless, quick diagnosis. Doctors will have a clear therapeutic pathway and reimbursable options. Payers will save millions as doctors won't prescribe unnecessary MRIs or surgeries. We have done a lot of the heavy lifting. Today, we have certified commercial devices. We have 12 granted patents. We have conducted clinical trials, and we have raised more than $2.1 million. In the past 3 months, we have achieved significant milestones, securing pilots with Point 32 Health Systems and Ridgecrest Regional Hospital. And we are thrilled to share that we will be conducting clinical trials with the Caroline Job Institute at Cedars-Sinai. With their help, we are on track to be FDA cleared by Q1 of 2024. This could not be possible without a fantastic team. My co-founder, Dr. Carlos Leal, an orthopedic surgeon, Harvard Medical School fellow, Felipe Rigby, that holds a Master in Systems Engineer, with whom I share a previous successful exit, and of course, an inspired team of engineers, designers, and clinicians that share our dream of bringing pain relief. We are excited about finding the right partners to capture a share in the $22 billion US market, and that is just for the knee. But Knee Voice is a game changer for all joints. Don't miss out being part of the cartilage diagnostic revolution. Thank you very much.
My sister Kathy was diagnosed with growth hormone deficiency at the age of 7. The whole treatment required over 1,000 shots in 3 years. It was a nightmare for her. Unfortunately, she is just one of the patients who suffer from injections. This is what happens to them. Fear of needles, scary bruises, and skin irritations all leads to 40% of medication non-adherence rate. Medication non-adherence is costly. Over $600 billion revenue is lost by pharmaceutical companies. Medicaid and Medicare spends over $290 billion avoidable costs due to poor adherence. Even patients themselves have to visit the hospital 3 more times to treat the complications. And there has to be better options for patients to administer the medication at home safely, accurately, and efficiently. Hello everyone, I'm Alina, Harvard Medical School PhD student and the founder, CEO of Novexus Biotech. We are developing a smart needle-free injector that simplifies the injection process and improves medication adherence and accuracy. Here's how our technology works. The device would pull the medication from the vial, expel the air bubble, and verify the dosage volume automatically. After loading, simply place it on the injection site. Within 0.3 seconds, boom, it's done. The injection data is automatically collected by the patient app, and it serves as a 2-way communication channel for a patient to track the treatment progress, report the side effect, and connect with the doctors. Novexus needle-free injector is the perfect solution for all of the stakeholders in the healthcare ecosystem. For patients, we make their life easier with automated needle-free injection. For providers, we offer them data for early treatment interventions. For pharmas, we help them boost the revenue by increasing market adoption. And for payers, we help them reduce non-adherence. Our technology could be applied to 80% of the injectable drugs and are targeting over $40 billion total available market of diabetes, infertility, and IBD. We have validated the clinical and business need in each target therapeutic area with 13 leading pharmaceutical companies, 35 clinical practice sites, and 4 insurance companies. We are currently conducting ex vivo studies at Techstars Tech to validate the range of device medication combinations including the GLP-1 medicine, known as Ozempic, supplied by Novo Nordisk. Animal study is scheduled to perform at Charles River to generate efficacy data for FDA master file submission. Once we submit the master file, we license the technology to pharmaceutical companies, and each deal could be up to $100 million revenue. With Dr. Dermot McGovern as our clinical champion, we are submitting the IRB protocol at Cedars-Sinai Hospital for contingency approval, and we expect to receive full FDA clearance in early 2025. We have a strong team with entrepreneurial experience and deep pharmaceutical connections like Merck and Mount Carmel Hospital, and we are proudly backed by industry leaders like Baxter and Harvard Innovation Lab. We believe in the near future, our beloved ones will not suffer from needle damage with our needle-free technology. Please join us on this exciting journey.
Today, I want to speak and recognize one of the unsung heroes in our medical frontline, nurses. Nurses have always helped people recover from illness and save lives, oftentimes putting their own lives in harm's way. The last 3 years of the pandemic have been especially brutal. All of this has taken a toll on our nursing workforce. Nurses are at peak levels of burnout and are increasingly dropping out of the profession, and things are about to get worse. Over 44% of the total nurses who leave the profession cite burnout as a primary reason. We have a looming deficit of 500,000 nurses to address by 2025. All of these factors have led our health systems to spend close to $19.5 billion to address these staffing shortages. And while nursing burnout is a key issue, patient experiences have worsened with decreasing patient satisfaction. Now more so, patients expect a modern consumer experience to guide them during their care journey, starting from the hospital stay. And that's why we are building Lana, a one-of-a-kind patient experience and virtual nursing platform that works together to improve both patient and nurse satisfaction, help reduce nurse workloads, and save hospitals significant staffing costs. Our patient experience platform works on the hospital room TV, a tablet, or even the patient's phone. Patients and their family members have access to their labs and other health data during the stay, making them active participants in their own care. Our personalized video education journey prepares patients for their discharges and can be addressed even when they are home on their phones. We go beyond the bare minimum, giving patients access to relaxation content, ride-sharing services, entertainment options, and much more, creating a concierge experience for patients. You might ask, how are we helping nurses? In the current patient discharge process in a hospital, a bedside nurse spends on average 45 to 60 minutes per patient discharge, which still includes printing a stack of papers, scanning and uploading signed forms to the health record, while educating patients about their discharge care often becomes the last priority. And that's why we are pioneering a built-in virtual nursing platform that will help relieve significant workloads for bedside nurses. Using Lana, a virtual nurse can do multiple discharges across the floor as compared to a bedside nurse. With just a button's tap, the virtual nurse educates the patients on their discharge care, collects key consent signatures from patients, and even makes sure their medications are delivered before discharge at the bedside from the hospital pharmacy. Just a single virtual nursing workflow like discharge is helping save close to 18,000 hours for the hospital, reduce length of stay by 2 hours for each patient, and help retain experienced nurses, helping them transition to a virtual care setting. With our smart monitoring inpatient rooms, a single virtual nurse or sitter can monitor multiple patients for fall risks and do various other administrative tasks virtually. Since we have started our Techstars journey, we have worked closely with partners like Texas Medical Center, Innovator, and we are now working closely with Apple and their sales team to lead our go-to-market efforts. In the past 3 months, we have signed paid pilot contracts with leading health systems like Health First and Duke Health. We have put together a phenomenal team. I was part of the founding team at Praxify, which was acquired by Athena Health. My co-founders both come from tech backgrounds, leading teams at Morgan Stanley and Flipkart. Our chief medical advisor is the founding chair for emergency medicine at Stanford, and we have raised a pre-seed round from notable healthcare angels, with our lead investor being Athena Health founder Jonathan Bush. So come join and support us in our mission to create the smart hospital facilities of the future.
How much will a procedure cost me? This may seem like a simple question, but in healthcare, it's actually incredibly hard to answer. Depending on who you are, your insurance, your location, what physician and facility you use, and even the time of the procedure, the answer changes. The cost of a service is foundational to every part of the healthcare ecosystem. It is the building block of any insurance network. It drives employer benefits premiums. It even determines what providers get paid, and it should inform where consumers get their care. But it's impossible to predict. On January 1, 2021, new laws were passed making healthcare prices public, but nothing changed. And that's because this data is so vast and intricate that it requires an army of software engineers, data scientists, and healthcare billing experts just to make it usable. That's where Handle Health comes in. I'm Ahmed Marmoush, CEO of Handle Health, together with my co-founder Ria, who I met at EY where we tackled similar challenges in healthcare, and our co-founder Karthik, a seasoned software engineer from Google and Meta with a background in building big data platforms. We bring our expertise to make healthcare pricing data accessible and user-friendly. Just as Amazon brought cloud computing to enterprises as a platform, or Twilio brought telephonic services to developers as a platform, Handle brings healthcare pricing to enterprises as a platform. Other companies have attempted price transparency and failed because they've tried to be everything to everybody. Now we're just focused on one thing, building the utility that provides the true cost of care that is easy to use and simple to understand. We serve tech-savvy customers with our API suite and enterprises with easy-to-use products for analyzing data, charging a licensing fee based on the tool selected and client size. So let's dive into a couple of products that our data platform powers today. With Rates Intelligence, HR executives and their insurance brokers log in through the Handle Health platform, select their region, existing insurance plan, and comparison plans to evaluate the savings opportunity and make informed decisions about switching insurance plans to control costs, leveraging this data in their annual negotiations with carriers. With a cost estimator, employees log into their benefits portal where their insurance details are pre-populated, and they can compare the cost of services or procedures across providers in their area, enabling them to make informed choices about where to seek care. Since launching our MVP in May of 2022, we've booked over $700,000 in revenue. Today, we supply our data and algorithms to a reseller to serve 30 employers covering over 30,000 individuals. We have a promising pipeline of qualified buyers amounting to over $5 million in revenue and signed letters of intent from insurance brokers, HSA vendors, and health plans. So you can say goodbye to the frustration of unknown healthcare costs. Join Handle Health as we rewrite the rules to answer the trillion-dollar question of how much your healthcare will cost.
When I was 11, my dad had a major heart attack. My parents were divorced, and so I took on a role as a family caregiver, helping him with medications, mobility, wound care. I loved my time with him, but I had no idea how to be a caregiver, and no one ever taught me. When he died, I felt like it was because I didn't know more. My desire to know more led me to a career in healthcare, including Kaiser Permanente for the last 8 years. I led programs moving care from facilities to the home. I saw firsthand just how dependent we are on family caregivers to be successful. I'm Tara English, co-founder, CEO of Givers Health. Givers Health is something that I wish I had as a family caregiver and that I wish I had at Kaiser. We help healthcare organizations deal with an urgent issue that everyone's facing, staffing shortages. We have a rapidly aging population, but we're millions of people short to care for them. Givers Health adds more feet on the ground by investing in the country's 40 million family caregivers of older adults. We do this with a network of clinical experts and a technology platform that lets healthcare organizations offer a bring-your-own caregiver option to families. It starts with letting a patient pick someone they already know and trust to be their caregiver. That person receives a customized training program based on the care plan and other inputs. The caregiver gets to do live practice with a clinical expert who validates that they have the skills for the caregiving. And the caregiver can get paid in many cases. It could be hundreds of dollars per week for the training and care tasks that would have otherwise required healthcare staff. They can also choose to get credentials if they want to support others in their community. Our customers are payers and providers with budget ownership for care at home. They're looking for ways to fill urgent staffing gaps and increase uptake of these care at home programs. We get paid from this budget to be another provider of care at home using our bring your own caregiver approach, and also to train family caregivers. The market for direct care of our target use case is around $10 billion. The broader care at home market is over $100 billion. Organizations see a lot of value in what we're doing. Just a couple weeks ago, we signed a $1 million contract with the California Department of Aging to deliver our innovative training program to family caregivers and the direct care workforce. We also launched a pilot in April with hip surgery patients and caregivers at a large hospital. Caregivers in our pilot have shown a major increase in confidence and skills, and the families are really satisfied. We're excited to continue growing Givers Health. We are a team that has consistently launched and scaled new innovations across the healthcare ecosystem. We know how to succeed in this space. Caregiving is something that's going to affect everyone here. Help us build a future that invests in family caregivers and re-envisions care at home.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cameron, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Azra Care. I want you to meet Christian, my co-founder. He's a trauma surgeon at Duke, and on any typical day, he spends an hour answering patient questions, while his staff spends over 2 hours per patient on tasks like care coordination, manually collecting patient data, sending reminders, and answering questions. He and his staff members are buried in admin work instead of focusing on the patients. Despite all of this handholding, almost 90% of care plans deviate due to language or education barriers, inability to access resources like transportation, healthy meals, or challenges finding social support. Unfortunately, as a result, nearly 10% patients need another surgery. This is costing U.S. healthcare system $22 billion a year. Azra is solving this two-sided problem of overburdened care teams and patients lacking the knowledge, resources, and social support that they need to participate in their care plan. Now meet Azra, our conversational AI chatbot that supports patients as they prepare for and recover from their surgeries. It's the first large language model in orthopedics that engages the elderly, underserved patients with empathy. We automate data collection, medication, reminders, rehab instructions, and patient appointments. We've also created exciting content that's culturally relevant, from short videos to voice messages, to improve patients' health literacy and engagement rates. This ensures lower reoperations and a higher patient satisfaction. We sell directly into providers and help surgical centers save $2.8 million in reoperation costs each year. The staff members save 3 hours per patient on average. Azra charges a yearly SaaS fee in addition to a monthly fee. Our average customer is generating $500,000 in revenue a year for us. Our first customer is Duke Health, and I'm happy to report that in the past 3 months, we've also signed additional contracts with Alta Orthopedics, Atlanta Orthopedics, and Texas Orthopedics. We're a diverse team with decades of experience in orthopedics, technology startups, policy, and research. I've worn multiple hats, from conducting clinical research at MassGen to leading product at Camure. In addition to being an accomplished surgeon, Christian brings expertise in big data and value-based care. At Azra, we're on a mission to unburden and empower surgeons so they can deliver the best-in-class, equitable care for their patients. If you'd like to learn more, please reach out. Thank you.
Your heart will beat nearly 3 billion times in your life. And with all that wear and tear, every one of you watching this video is at risk of developing cardiovascular complications. Ultrasound of the heart, or echocardiography, is the most common method for screening for heart disease. But because of the subtleties and complexity in these images, it is extremely difficult for a human to interpret. And that is why it takes an expert, on average, 28 minutes to interpret a full echocardiogram. There's over 27 million echoes performed each year in the US, and this number is expected to rise each year with an aging population. We did the math. That's 12,600,000 hours of cardiologist time spent interpreting echoes, and not counting the cost of underdiagnosed or misdiagnosed conditions. That's $2.5 billion that we spend as a nation on cardiologists to interpret exams that we think can be automated to take less than a second using artificial intelligence. So what we did is we took a gigantic proprietary imaging data set of over 200 million echocardiographic frames and trained what we call the iCardio AI. Our device is divided into two components. The first is the quantitative component, which automates all of the measurements that are conventionally performed within echo. And the second, for the first time, even among conventional radiological modalities, we automate the qualitative conclusion text that comes from the echo. We understand how difficult it is to take technology like ours into the market, and so we've partnered with distributors that have a direct incentive to implement our software. We've partnered with companies like HeartLab that develops software for reviewing medical images directly in the clinical workflow. We've also partnered with hardware vendors. We partnered with Clarius, the manufacturer of this handheld ultrasound device, and we've partnered with GE Healthcare, the largest vendor of ultrasound equipment in the world. We also build bespoke solutions for pharmaceutical companies and bioprosthetic valve manufacturers. In the last 2 years building this company, we've struck strategic academic collaborations with prestigious universities around the world. We are currently validating our algorithms in clinical trials with Arkansas Heart, the number 4 heart hospital in the United States. Just this month, we were named as an R&D collaborator with the U.S. military to conduct mass screening of U.S. troops for cardiovascular conditions, and we're most excited to announce that we are now under review by the FDA with expected clearance this year, 2023. I'm Joseph Sokol, CEO and founder of iCardio AI. I come from a self-taught full-stack developer background and built a number of technology companies, and I'm joined by my co-founder, Roman Sandler, PhD in biomedical engineering, who boasts over a dozen years' experience leading machine learning teams in the biotech and defense industry. I'm also joined by an incredible team of computer scientists and industry experts to help realize our mission of bringing AI to Echo. Let me leave you with one last thought. At iCardio AI, we think AI won't replace doctors, but doctors with AI will replace doctors who act without it. Don't skip a beat and join us as we execute on our mission of bringing AI to echocardiography.
At Duality, we're transforming healthcare with AI-powered facial recognition to accurately identify patients and immediately pull up their health records. My name is Clayton Saliba, CEO and co-founder of Duality Health. And on April 29, 2018, my best friend and co-founder, we've known each other for over 25 years, his dad went to the hospital for a routine surgery. Clinicians couldn't get access to the right information at the right time, and he died. This tragic event led us down the path of discovering an incredibly complex problem of matching patients to their health records. The majority of us visit multiple healthcare providers throughout our lifetime, and as a result, we have different medical records at each one of these locations. Now, ideally, our records would be available to every one of our providers, but attempts to match our records across different healthcare settings to form a complete view is a huge failure. In fact, errors occur up to 50% of the time and cause a $77 billion per year efficiency problem in the U.S. healthcare system. The reason it's so inefficient is because patient records are currently matched based on demographic data, name, address, date of birth, but oftentimes people have the same details. For example, a health system in Houston has 2,833 Maria Garcias, and 528 of them have the same date of birth. The status quo of using demographics to match patient records is unsafe and inefficient. We believe enhancing demographic data with a unique biometric identifier is the solution. Our patient matching software uses the patient's facial biometric to create a unique patient identifier that is linked to their medical records. Using AI-powered facial recognition, along with industry-standard APIs, our solution achieves over 99.9% accuracy and facilitates secure data exchange between healthcare organizations. Our software operates in a desktop, mobile, and virtual environment and has been integrated with industry-leading systems, including Epic and Cerner. Matching patients to their health records is the first step in any healthcare interaction, from virtual care to picking up your prescription at the pharmacy. And where it's most difficult is the transition from the ambulance to the emergency department, where disparate systems are relied upon for patient matching and billing. Acadian is the second largest EMS company in the nation, with a fleet of 580 ambulances that transport 650,000 patients per year across the southern U.S. And I'm happy to announce that Acadian and Duality have formed a commercial partnership to bring our patient matching software to market. This partnership aligns with our go-to-market strategy of starting with the ambulance services market and ultimately penetrating hospital systems through the emergency department, which unlocks a $2.5 billion per year opportunity for Duality. We run a software as a service business model, charging our customers a one-time implementation and recurring subscription fee with expected gross profit of 79%. The team at Duality has extensive experience in healthcare information technology, medical informatics, cybersecurity, and building and managing companies through growth. We have the know-how and the drive to build a leading patient identity solution and capture huge market demand. If you'd like to join us on this mission or learn more, please reach out. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dara Cook. I founded Expect because women in America today are more likely to die from pregnancy complications than our grandmothers were over 50 years ago. We're dying from infections after C-sections, hemorrhages, strokes. Over a third of us are experiencing some complications. But what makes this so unforgivable? We can prevent this. My sister is a great example. Despite being at an age when the odds of complications were high, she had a smooth pregnancy and a 20-minute labor. Her OBGYN credited one thing that set her experience apart. She exercised during pregnancy. Maternal fitness is proven to reduce the risk of everything from premature births to postpartum depression by double-digit percentages. It is arguably our most cost-effective tool to save and improve lives. Babies are healthier, with stronger hearts, better brain development, and much more. The governing body of OBGYNs now recommends regular maternal exercise. The problem is many pregnant women don't exercise because, rightfully so, they don't know what is safe and find the few prenatal fitness options boring and unmotivating. And that's why I left my 20-year career at MTV, where I learned how to captivate millions, to move people in another way with Expect. Fitness optimized for pregnancy and postnatal, and the only platform where every workout is approved by OBGYNs. We make fitness addictive with music video style production and unparalleled diversity of race, gender, and body type. Because we're OBGYN approved, we can provide the broadest fitness variety in the pregnancy space. We drive engagement with activity rings, workout planning, and nudges. Our business model? We sell into employers, providers, and insurers because maternal fitness reduces costs, saving payers an average of $3,000 per mom. Our subscriptions are $500 a year, delivering tremendous value. Proving out our business model, we are excited to announce partnerships with top institutions, a clinical study with University of Alabama, pilot with Penn Medicine, New York City Department of Health's Neighborhood Health Action Center in Brooklyn, and Healthy Start programs throughout the country, reaching a total of 10,000 moms. To Expect, I bring my experience as head creative of the MTV Video Music Awards and brand manager of Wild 'N Out. Our co-founder, Joseph, is an engineering and product thought leader for YC-backed startups who has interviewed and coached hundreds of Bay Area engineers. Our chief fitness officer, Emmy winner Jillian, was head of production for ClassPass. We can change our maternal health crisis, but we have got to act and move now. Partner with Expect.
Weren't they amazing? We are so proud of how much you've accomplished in just 13 weeks and even more excited to see what you'll accomplish next. I'm Jenny Leung, Senior Program Director, and before we close the program, we have a few thank yous to give to those who have made this program possible. First, to our hundreds of mentors, thank you. As you've heard from Matt earlier, we are the first program to run 2 concurrent programs with Techstars Healthcare and Techstars Los Angeles, and collectively in just our first month, our founders had over 2,100 mentor meetings. Thank you for living the gift first value and showing up to give your time, expertise, and access to your networks to really help our founders accelerate. Next, we have an amazing collection of global partners who've not only stepped in with support from their companies, but also dug in to really help our founders succeed. Thank you to all of our global partners for your support. To our wonderful team, Ahmed Mirza, Alex Honhazy, Sherman Williams, Kim Nixon, John Zimmerman, Jason Limbeck, and our extraordinary program team, Mary Tan, Avanti Shah, Jake Lace, Jacob Saitzu, Andrea Ramirez, and Erica Parker. Thank you for showing up every day with your great energy and readiness to help our founders. We could not have done these 2 programs without you. Finally, a big thank you to the families. Your support while your wives, husbands, girlfriends, boyfriends, mothers, and fathers participated in Techstars meant so much to them and to us. We are so happy to welcome you to the Techstars family. And that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in.